Well, look at this beautiful campsite we had last night. Yes, this is in a Walmart parking lot. It is definitely not our favorite type of camping, but it is free and it serves its purpose sometimes. There's really, you know, Walmarts are starting to kind of close down their parking lots for overnight camping, but here at Fort St. John, we went to customer service and we asked and they said yes, and we actually stayed here last year when we went up to Alaska. They have a sports complex across the street with ice skating rinks and a pool. It's like first class. I mean, it might have been built for the Olympics or something. It's so nice. And let's see, there's a museum here and kind of some other things, a couple breweries that we hit last night that were pretty good. Other than that, we're gonna head down to Dawson Creek and head further south. So I think we'll try and find another provincial park. The one we were thinking about going to last night was actually closed, otherwise we probably would have left town. But hey, you know what? For a quick overnight, Walmart will do. Holy moly, back. Ugh. Can't talk, I'm so flabbergasted about how awesome this spot is. Holy moly, Batman. We were heading down to Carp Lake, there's a provincial park there with a campground, and we noticed what looked like a pullout, or you know, this really cool boondocking spot. So we parked, we stopped the truck, came back in here, and there was a fire pit and benches and everything. So it looks like a real campsite. Boondocking spot right on Warhorse Lakes. Now we've been to Dead Horse, White Horse, Bucking Horse, and now Warhorse. This spot is amazing. I think we're gonna spend an extra day here. Right, honey? And here's Rhonda and decided to do a little exploring and come down to Carp Lake Provincial Park. So it's actually a pretty well maintained dirt road, so I would have no problem bringing our travel trailer, our escape all the way down here. It's absolutely gorgeous, really nice lake. Lake is huge, and we just ran into a local, or she's from Vancouver Island but wanted to get away.
Good fishing here. The lake is so big though, it can be a little bit choppy, but you can take your boats across and actually tent camp on some of the islands.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you just pay and reserve here. This time of year, apparently they don't collect, so it's totally free. So if it's open, you can come here and camp for free. There's also War Lake on the way in, and then, you know, if it's full for some reason, I guess there's some other pull-out areas that we saw that if you were in emergency, you could probably stay there.
Yeah, but we love our boondocking spot, so we're actually staying there for 2 nights. And we'll go back to there in a minute, but I think we're gonna do a little hike along the way. All right, we're gonna hit the trail. We're gonna go to War Falls, really nice little forested trail. It's not very far, and it's supposed to be this raging waterfall on this
volcanic rocks.
Cascading over volcanic rocks. That's a nice trail. Look at this, our own private lake. And I will say that Carp Lake Road, we only had, for 2 nights, for 2 days here, we only had maybe a handful of cars, maybe 8 at the most, pass by on the road right in front of us. So it's amazing. We had no cell service here, which is kind of nice sometimes, like I've said before. But yeah, pure luck, pure luck. This was not on any app, this spot, so I did not find this on iOverlander or Allstays or Campendium. And speaking of apps, the 2 that I've been using, because we've been offline so much of the time without cell service, is Allstays and iOverlander. Both of those have been working fantastically. offline. We are a muddy mess though. We will have to do something about that. Ready, honey?
We're ready. Off to the next adventure.
Yeah, whatever that is. Hey, we're in Prince George, stretching our legs, and we found this Cottonwood Island park, and there's about a 2-mile loop around this island, and of course it's named for all the huge cottonwood trees we're on here. So a great way to get the dogs a little exercise, do
and
some,
us.
and us, yeah, because we need it. The cool things about this trail is the hidden carvings. So if you look closely, there's all these cool carvings in some of these trees around here, and this looks like a dragon. Another night, another great provincial park. Last night we were at 10 Mile Lake Provincial Park. It's just outside of Quesnel on the north side, and a pretty large campground. Now for $25 Canadian, you have a bit more amenities with this park. So there's a dump station here, and there's actually showers, and I went to check out the showers. They don't even take loonies, so free showers with your membership. There is a problem with the water, so we did not fill up our tank here. We didn't really need to anyway. But there is a boil order for the water here, so we don't want to put that kind of water in our tank. There are some campsites that are kind of along the lake, but the camp road is right in front of them. So on the map it looks like they're right on the lake, but you're backing up to other campsites and you're not quite on the lake. But a couple really nice loops, and then there's a whole nother section of this campground that's the touring section, so that'll be for the larger rigs and groups and folks that want the big pull-throughs. So, and here comes the camp host. So super friendly here. Really.
Morning.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you guys?
Good. Good.
So that was Kevin.
Really nice man who's a park host here. They are done with their camp hosting here on the 30th of September, so just about another week or so. Now normally they like to go south for the winter down to Arizona. They love Quartzsite, and unfortunately with the border still being closed to Canadians, it was just announced yesterday that's going to be closed for a whole nother month, so he's a bit heartbroken. Another night, another great campsite, and once again we found this awesome spot by chance because our original idea didn't work out. So originally we were going to camp at 100 Mile House at their municipal campground, but it was already closed, and then we were going to stop at Bag Pie Overlook, breezed right past that, and then so we made our way down to Green Lake Provincial Park, and there's two Well, there's 3 campgrounds. We breezed past Arrowhead, which is where we were going to stay at, but the signage was a little funky, and we kept on going because there was no place to turn around, and we ended up here at Bay Campground. And look, RV lake. It's pretty awesome. So tons of mergansers and some loons out there, so lots of great bird life here. This lake is huge. The weather has been fantastic, which has been a nice plus. This place was $18 Canadian a night. There's no pay station, and they do have a person that comes around that takes your money. So we paid for 2 nights. And so we had a nice day here, just chilling out by the lake. They do have pit toilets, and other than that, it's all about the lake. So normally this is a reservation campground, but because we're in late September, it's just first come, first serve. And we want to give a shout out to Kevin and Sherry, who are 2 campsites over. We met them yesterday. They are very lovely, friendly, 17A escape owners. Very nice. We decided to stay in Hope, not Hope, Alaska, Hope, British Columbia. We love Hope, the town. Very cool. They got tons of chainsaw carvings, and the Blue Moose coffee is really good. So this campground that we stayed at for the last 2 nights is called the Wild Rose. It's actually got really good spacing. So as you can see from our side, we have these massive hedges on both sides of trees, so it makes it feel a little bit more private. There are some full-time, just people that live here full-time, so that sort of kind of changes the vibe a little bit sometimes of some campgrounds and RV parks. So the negatives to this is the road is right over that way, so there is a bunch of highway noise, and the airport is over that way, so there is definitely some airplane noise that never bothers me, but the highway noise is definitely pretty noticeable here. Full hookup site for about $45 a night. The showers here don't cost anything extra, but they weren't as hot as I would have liked. And the other negative, when you pay that kind of money, is you get here and there's trash in your fire pit. Yeah, that's always kind of a gnarly thing. You think they'd come around and go pick up trash. Anyway, so we're all filled back up with water. Our all tanks are dumped, so we are good to go for another stint of dry camping. So we'll be dry camping at least for the next couple weeks.
Hi, we're in Hope, British Columbia, and we're getting ready to do the Kettle Valley Railway Trail. It's just over 5 miles round trip, and it's fairly flat, wide trail that you can bike or walk on, and it's dog friendly.
So part of the allure of this old railroad bed grade is that there's some tunnels towards the end of it, and they're supposed to be pretty cool.
We love big trees. No, I really don't kiss trees, but you get the idea.
this hike is way cooler than I thought. When it said there was railroad tunnels, I'm like, oh, okay. But it's right through this rock walls. It's pretty spectacular. So I would definitely do this hike. When you get up to the tunnels, it's pretty crowded. There's a parking lot, I think, on the other side. So there's a lot of people hanging out up here that don't do the entire hike. This Kettle Valley Railroad was built, it was in operation between 1916 and 1959. And kids. 50 railroad workers died during the time it was in operation. And that was due to avalanches and landslides and rock slides and steam engines blowing up. And they shoveled like 24 tons sometimes a day of coal for the steam engines that keep on running. Pretty crazy. But this is gorgeous. Alright, I think I mentioned back there, it's really crowded at the tunnels. There's a closer parking lot in this direction, and way more crowded than I thought it was going to be, but it was gorgeous. So instead of going back through that melee of mass people, we're going to continue to the end of this trail, the one that we're on, and then there is, I'm using the All Trails app, and then there's a trail that goes off from that, probably a little bit longer, and then goes back around. So we'll do a circle and then meet back up with the railroad trail that we were originally on.
Yes.
What do I love about being back in the Pacific Northwest? Big trees. Land of the Douglas firs,
big evergreen
and big
trees.
Cedars.
Yeah.
So awesome. And lots of cottonwoods in here. Anyway, land of big trees. I miss that. Okay, now we're gonna get a workout. So it's about 2 miles to the junction of the other trail. Now we're taking the loop, get away from all the people,